Finger Podcast. This is episode 4. I'm Casper, your friendly host, along with my sidekick and partner in crime.
I hop the gimp. I actually said it right this time.
You said it right this time.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, usually I screw that up. And I usually say I'm iPod the gimp. So.
But we can't say that because heaven knows Apple will charge us something for it. Alright, so let's see. We lost Muhammad Ali this week.
Yeah. Sad day.
Yeah. He's been sick for a long time, of course, we all know that. I remember at the 96 games when they passed the torch to him and nobody knew except their innermost circle because they weren't sure if he was going to be able to do it. If he was going to be, that he was going to be the one to light the torch. Because there was lots of speculation about it. And when he lit that torch, I remember goosebumps, tears. I'm sitting there alone in the living room just crying. And it was a strange situation because my wife's work was the official staffing, at that time, was the official staffing agency for the 96 games in Atlanta. And so she was down there. My son Alex hadn't been born yet. She was expecting him, so I was never expecting him. He just turned out the way. No, he's a great guy. He's also our director, so we're very fond of Alex.
Thank you for having Alex.
Yes. Well, thank her.
Well,
yeah,
I had to start from somewhere.
I just planted the idea. Okay, so Muhammad Ali. I have a Muhammad Ali story. Most of my friends know this story, but it's in 1978. I was in the Army, and I was 19 years old, and I was in the Atlanta airport, and I'm just walking through on dress greens and doing what you do, going to the concourse to catch my flight. And I came around a corner. There's Muhammad Ali standing with these other two guys, and I just stopped. And I said, "You're Muhammad Ali." And he goes, "You're Private Absher." I said, "How'd you know that?" And then I realized I have a name tag and my rank on my arm. So he was much faster about it than I was. But he asked me where I was from, where I was going. At this time, he was still catching some crap from people, even though it had been a few years, over conscientious objecting to Vietnam. And he said there were times that there were soldiers that they'd give him the finger or they'd snarl at him or whatever. But it was really cool because even when one of the guys with him said, "Champ, we got to be going," he nodded his head that he heard him, but kept talking to me for a few minutes. It was really, really very cool. And one of the most, I guess, impressive things to me about it was that it's a story I've remembered ever since, and will remember probably my whole life, and we'll continue to tell the story whenever his name comes up, and to the point that people will get sick of it. But I just know that this is the kind of thing he did dozens of times a day.
I'm sure.
There are probably thousands of people out there who have this exact same kind of story with him, and I just thought it was really cool. Several years after that, I became, I won't say friends because it's hard to say you're friends with somebody if you don't talk to them on a regular basis or whatever, but we'll call it friendly. I became friendly with George Foreman, who's an absolutely amazing guy, fantastic guy. And he said, "Yeah, even though I fought him, I really love old Muhammad. He was a good guy." And that's pretty cool. Because when it comes time to shuffle off this mortal coil, if you can say at the end of it, you were a good guy, that's all the Lone Ranger could ever say. He was a good guy. And Muhammad wasn't wearing a white hat, but definitely a good guy.
I'm sure. I mean, that should just go to speak to people's character. That's like, I know, a lot of people, especially in today's time, they look at people, "Oh, he's a celebrity, he, doesn't have time." They're people just like anybody else sometimes. you know, and you know, being here in Nashville, I've seen my share of celebrities.
Right.
And sometimes, you know, granted, they do like people asking for their autograph and knowing who they are. Sometimes they just want to be left alone.
Right.
And whenever somebody can be as I would say, I say tall, because you put someone like Muhammad Ali up on a pedestal,
I agree.
and he can sit there and speak to you,
Right.
to me, to whoever, and treats another person like a human being instead of some of these celebrities like Kanye West. You think he would do that? No, I don't know.
Might surprise us, but I've never heard anything along those lines about him.
Right.
But my mom was in Chicago several years ago, and while she was there, they were doing Gregory. Hi, Gregory. So, sorry about that show. But she went to Michael Jordan's restaurant that he owned there in Chicago, and everybody goes just hoping to see Michael. This was back in his absolute peak heyday, and I think the Bulls had just won their third championship in a row. And Michael Jordan came walking in, and everybody was just, when he came in, he had security with him. The security guy locked the door so nobody else could come in.
Right.
And then Michael went to each and every table, to each and every diner, shook hands with him, signed autographs, took pictures with him, and then went to the next one. And once he was done, there was a table that was roped off by itself. He went and sat down. There was a sign that said, "Please don't disturb Mr. Jordan while he's eating." But he made sure everybody in the place was taken care of before he did that. And of course, we've all heard some rumors that Michael wasn't necessarily the sweetest guy, but that was appreciative of your fans anyway.
Right. Well, you know, everybody has stories.
Yeah.
And like you said, you know, nobody hears of it. But whenever you take care of your fans that are there, you know, then you're most likely not to be bothered as much
Right.
as anything.
Okay, one more, and then we need to cut out for the first break. Fanfare, several years ago. For those of you who aren't aware, Fanfare is a country music thing that takes place in Nashville during June. As a matter of fact, it's taking place this year, right now. But this was several years ago when Garth Brooks was in his No Fences time. I know you're not a big Garth fan, but this was the Friends in Low Places when that song was out and really hitting.
All right.
And people were lined up. This was out at the old fairgrounds, and they were lined up 3 lines deep around the building just to see Garth get his autograph. Garth Brooks stayed right there and signed autographs for over 16 hours.
Wow.
Signed every autograph, took every picture, and I was there for part of it because the company I was working for, we were supplying electronics to different booths and stuff,
Yeah.
play the videos and stereo stuff. But and so I saw part of it, and this guy was incredible. And this one lady, she was older and had like Air Force wings on her jacket, and she said, "So she said, I've been such a big fan of yours since the first time I heard you sing, and I just love you." He said, "And I just want to tell you thank you for being be so talented and sharing it and all this." And it was really cool seeing this older woman fawn over him. She had to be in her 60s. And Garth says, what are the wings for? She said, "Well, I was a female test pilot in the late 40s. And he said, "Really?" And she said, "Yeah." She goes, "Thank you so much for your time." And she started to walk away. He grabbed her arm and said, "No, you have to tell me more about this." And so he didn't just sign his autograph, take pictures, and send him on.
Right.
He felt like he was being cheated if she didn't stop and tell him the story. And that's cool. So love his music or hate his music, it doesn't matter. The guy loves his fans.
Oh, he's definitely he's a showman.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess that's the reason why, you know, the fans, you know, they come out and they support him. You know, no doubt. It's just here in Nashville, you heard Friends in Low Places at
Down Broadway concert.
every honky tonk, and everywhere you went, it was on the radio, and it just, to me, it just it got
Well, we'll wave to the people in the tip, and we'll be right back after this.
The minute you walked in the joint, I could see you were a man of distinction, a real big spender, good looking, so refined. Say, wouldn't you like to know what's going on in my mind? So let me get right to the point.
Welcome back to the Finger Podcast, and we've avoided talking about politics for the most part so far in the series. So, what do you say we talk about? We'll talk about the Democrats tonight.
Yeah.
And right now we still have Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders both in the race. So, what do you think about Hillary?
I don't have very much thought of her at all, except that she is not for this country at all. And if it goes to show of anything, if you ask me, it's Obama has endorsed her this go around. But if you remember back in '08, there's a clip, and I will gladly share it again, probably here in the next few days, of where Obama has actually made a commercial where he endorsed it, stating that Hillary will say and do anything. And then here it is now.
She's saying and doing anything.
Yeah, and he's endorsing her. I mean, if that's not ass backwards, I don't know what is.
Well, see, before he was saying that bitch ain't getting my job, and now what's he saying? Oh, bitch can have my job.
Well, because he's like, well, maybe she'll keep my policies. Well, if you ask me,
Yeah.
you gotta go.
There's something about her that really gets me, and it's that people aren't realizing. They're talking about all the emails and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what she's done. It doesn't matter what she's guilty of, because all he has to do before he leaves office, pardon me.
I don't think that is...
She hasn't been charged with anything yet, though.
Right.
She's being investigated. Investigated isn't guilty, folks. That's just the way it is. I mean, I was investigated once. I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. It had nothing to do with anything that was going on. The cop looks at me and he goes, "Up against the wall." Sir, I just walked in the door. And it was, I'll tell you that story sometime. It's a real, it's a gangbanger at all. Let's see. Let's talk about, Hillary. She's lying. She's, I don't blame Bill for cheating. Because I'm sorry, I didn't have Monica Lewinsky. I thought the girl just didn't have any commitment, you know what I mean? You gotta
She
see,
wasn't old enough to have a commitment.
but you gotta see things all the way through. but Hillary, every time I see, the other day whenever she came out and did the announcement that she had made history, that she was the first female candidate to ever win the nomination of a major party. Well, she hasn't been nominated yet, so you can prejudge it. But she came walking up wearing a long white coat and wearing like a white dress underneath it, and was walking up like this. Like she thinks she's freaking anointed. She looked like an evangelist walking up there. And I guess the religion is, I'm Hillary Clinton and you can all kiss my ass. That's honestly what I felt like when I saw her.
Right.
But my feeling about her is real simple. I'm not a Twinkie, but if I was, she could eat me creamy filling in a home. Don't like her. Bernie Sanders. Wouldn't vote for him for nothing.
Yeah.
But I'd love to hang out with him. I bet he'd be funny in a restaurant. I think he'd be funny, just an old curmudgeon just to hang out with. I think he'd be a blast.
I wonder if you put, Larry David in a suit and you send him in, I wonder how many people would think it was Bernie Sanders.
Well, I'll tell you what, the other day I saw him in front of the White House after meeting with President Obama. And I swear, at first I thought it was Larry David. Larry David does Sanders as well. Sanders does. Now I will say this, and I haven't heard anybody else talking about this, but you know, these candidates, if they suspend their campaign, they get to keep the campaign donations for later elections, or if they get out of office, they get taken with them.
What?
Yes, yes. I'm not sure about all the exact rules, but that's the gist of it.
If you ask me, that should go back into a pool. You either have to go either back into the party or to a charity. Or
I think it's charity,
something of that nature.
Definitely. Or to national parks.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, something.
Why not?
But why is one of the things Bernie Sanders is doing? He's using every penny. He's riding this thing out to the very end. And so he's not saying, hey, you know, we're going to save this for our vacation, honey, after we're done. You know, we're going to go to the Bahamas after this. No. He's spending it all. And of all the campaigns that started at the beginning of this election process, he was worth the least. This guy's been in the Senate for like 20 years, and he's worth like $200,000. At the start of this campaign, he was worth $200,000. Now, you can't say this guy's on the tape. What he believes and what he wants to do may sound absolutely insane, but he's not trying to rip off the people. Anyway, so
if you ask me, the way I look at politics is I'm not Democrat, I'm not Republican.
You're a Republican?
I'm not for either or. The way I look at it is you're just going to choose which bullet you're going to get shot with. I mean, that's the best way I can tell you.
especially if you're voting for Glenn. I love that. I hadn't thought about that. That's great. So I figured.
But Obamacare will take care of it.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So, let's talk, and I'm going to do this opposite because I'm doing the mirror thing. Let's talk the left and the right. Okay? I don't think real America is way over here on the left, and I don't think it's way over here on the right. Real America lives right here, and we want people to have jobs. We want people to have food. We want people to help themselves.
Yeah.
And if they're not able to, we're more than willing to help. If you're not able to help yourself, then go wander off in the wilderness.
That's true.
You know, depend on God to give you manna. Anyway, so we'll be right back after this.
Einen Luder hör ich gern aus der Nähe und von der Fern. Mit der Liebe im Herzen drin singt in jede Senderin. Darum zieh ich jedes Jahr in die Berge, das ist klar. Und ich sing mit frohem Sinn, weil ich dann in Urlaub bin.
And welcome back to the Finger Podcast. I'm your co-host, Ahop the Gimp.
I'm Casper, your friendly host. Here we go. All right. Most couples, since we brought up swinging in the last segment, most couples have this like free pass thing with celebrities. If you could do any celebrity, which one would you want to do, that kind of thing. And I know my wife has her list, and I definitely have, you know, my choices too. So, who's your number one? Who's the one you'd just say, if I had a chance, I'd high five her daddy while I did it.
Well, considering Miley Cyrus.
You gonna make her hit the high notes?
Yes, sir. Party in the USA. Those are red, white, and blue.
Now, we are talking about Miley Cyrus now, right? Not Hannah Montana, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, I want to make sure.
Well, not necessarily.
I love you, brother, but you got one eye. She might have looked a lot older back then.
But not in that. What was the video? Blurred lines.
Yeah.
That stuff. That could go.
So who else?
Shannon Tweed.
Yeah, Jean's been hitting that for long enough, hasn't he? Somebody else.
Yeah,
needs to
she's
try.
always been hot.
Yeah, she has.
Always.
Back when she was doing all the Skinamax movies and Showtime at Night
Yes.
movies, those. Yeah.
You know, back then, whenever I was trying to watch that, I could remember. This is when cable had, you could still see part of the show. You had to sit there and do your head like this, try to catch it.
Earthquake TV.
Hey, that's what it was like. You had
Long
to-
time to look straight as if you're living in San Francisco. I love it. That's great. That's great. So what about your wife?
My wife, she has this thing for Shamar Moore. And for people that don't know who that is, it's the guy from Criminal Minds.
Big, tall.
Big, tall, dark. And she says handsome.
Handsome.
Yes. And of course, ladies love Cool J. I told her, I said, yeah, I'll give you that hall pass.
Yeah. My wife was a LL Cool J fan too. I told her, I said, you watch NCIS Los Angeles because he's on there, and he never even takes his shirt off. She says, I know what's underneath. He doesn't have to take off anything. Well, he does if he's on your to-do list.
Right.
Her big one on her list is Tim Tebow.
Wow.
For a couple reasons. First one is she thinks he's absolutely she says he's pretty. And he's a good looking guy. He's also 6'5". He's also totally ripped. And she saw pictures from a charity golf tournament he played in, and evidently the shorts he was wearing were form-fitting, and my boy runs all the way down to his knee.
It's a baby's arm.
Ain't nothing baby about that, except what she'd be screaming, "Oh baby, oh baby!" But that's her number one, and she wants to climb J.J. Watts and stop intermittently along the way.
See, my wife also has one more. The older generation, ladies, could you guess what it is? Some women say Sean Connery. My wife says Sam Elliott.
See, and mine, her older guy is Mark Harmon.
Gibbs.
She wants to do Gibbs. I think she wants to slap him on the back of his head.
You give him a Denozo.
Anyway. So mine goes all the way back to the 60s with a lady named Joey Heatherton. And Joey Heatherton was the hottest thing at the time. And I remember there was a made-for-TV movie where she was in it with Lee Majors and he had just come back from Vietnam. And I don't remember any of the story except that. But there's this rain scene and they're outside. And they start going at it. And she had hard nipples. I had never seen hard nipples on a woman's shirt on TV before. And it made me tingle, and puberty was born.
So you were like women with a notebook.
Yeah, I was like, didn't know what to do with it, but it was, and then after her, Linda Carter.
Even her now.
Yeah, she's, in the 70s she was amazing when she was Miss Texas, and I don't think she won Miss USA or Miss America, whatever, but she was Miss Texas, and she was just, everything's finer in Texas. Oh my
Wonder
God.
Woman.
Yeah, and didn't even need the suit. She spun around, and all I noticed was cleavage, you know. Then of course I noticed Heine too, because she was spinning around. Let's see, and then Sophia Loren, actress in the 60s and 70s and the 80s too. You remember Grumpy Old Men?
Yeah.
In the second one, she was the Italian lady. in the sexy red dress.
Oh.
Yeah.
The one that,
Walter Matthau.
yeah, he made a big deal over. Yes.
I made a big deal over her. But you know, she was like in her 70s when that movie was made. So
Really?
yes, she was. Oh my gosh, she was hot. Still is. And then, you know, today, Scarlett Johansson.
Black Widow.
Yeah, you just want to grab that zipper with your teeth, don't you?
I'm like, you know, you can fight me any day.
I'm gonna tell you. Let me tell you something, Scarlett. Something you need to know. I will give you the best 30 seconds of my life. But yeah, she in the movie Don John with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Mm-hmm.
She is hot.
I didn't see it, but now I will definitely have to check it out.
She's worth. It's worth watching just for her. Movie in general is pretty weak.
Well, I wouldn't watch it for him.
Yeah, but she's just yeah. And honorable mention in all this, Sarah Palin.
Yeah, Sarah Palin is a hottie.
I don't have to listen to her talk. I've got plans. All right. Well, this has been episode 3 of the Finger Podcast. I've been Casper, your friendly host.
And I'm Ahab the Gimp.
And we will see you guys next time for episode 4.